Welcome to EUPrivacyForAll, Session 12 on GDPR, Articles 6.1 and 6.2 on the legal grounds for processing, that is to say, lawfulness of processing. The article numbering was changed in the final version of the GDPR. It is Article 6.1 and 6.2. Article 6 on the lawfulness of processing raises the point that there are 6 legal grounds allowing the controller to demonstrate that the processing is lawful. The data subject could give consent, or the processing is necessary for the performance of a contract, or necessary for compliance with legal obligation, or necessary in order to protect the vital interests of the data subject or of another natural person, or the processing is necessary for the performance of a task carried out in the public interest or in the exercise of official authority vested in the controller, or finally, the processing is necessary for the purposes of the legitimate interests pursued by the controller or by a third party, except, and this is a big caveat, where such interests are overridden by the interests or fundamental rights and freedoms of the data subject. In particular, and this is added in the GDPR, where the data subject is a child. Member States may maintain or introduce more specific provisions to adapt the application of those principles by determining more precisely specific requirements, notably regarding legal obligation or public interest legal grounds. If you want to have further information regarding the further use or purpose limitation, please revert to the Session 3 of those sessions. Currently, the directive provides 6 legal grounds that are the same as in GDPR: consent, performance of a contract, legal obligation, vital interests, performance of a task carried out in the public interest, and legitimate interests pursued by the controller. A key difference would be in the wording of Article 7a, referring to a consent that the data subject would have unambiguously given. What should accountable data controllers get prepared for? First, keep on implementing the core obligation in Directive 95/46 of having a legal ground for each of the purposes identified. Moreover, frame tightly further processing and demonstrate compatibility. It means tipping a balance between the interests of the controllers on one side and the ones of the data subjects on the other side. It is all the more important when the purpose is not achieving scientific, historical, or statistical purpose. Specific caveats now on consent. It shall be explicit or unambiguous, depending on the cases. On legal obligations or tasks carried out in the public interest, the controller shall take each necessary step to identify national specifications. Finally, regarding the legitimate interest ground, the controller shall take steps to check whether the controller's interests are overridden by the interests or fundamental rights and freedoms of the data subject. Overall, demonstrating compliance is in the frame of the accountability principle. Key question is whether EDPB inquiries based on those grounds will focus mainly on documentation or on any other accountability demonstration.